Happy New Year from IONTB. I sincerely hope that everyone had a very safe and happy New Year's Eve, and they got to spend time with their family and friends. IONTB continues to grow now, with almost 35,000 Facebook followers, along with a weekly reach of 250 to 300,000. In addition to the thousands of followers on Twitter, IONTB long outgrew the IONTB.com website due to bandwidth constraints. Along with this growth comes growing pains. The big question is, where is IONTB headed? I still don't have an answer for that, but continue to dig for that very answer. And the answers change each and every day. The main challenges are really, number one, the amount of time it takes to run IONTB. Of course, number two, the financial constraints. And three, dealing with the distractions. The financial constraints component is kind of self-explanatory. Some of news gathering takes financial resources to attempt to get on a level playing field with mainstream media. It's not easy. Don't be under the illusion that I have great relationships with many of the law enforcement agencies, or even EMS, in this area. In fact, most would probably be happy to see IONTB go away completely. It would make their public information officers' job much easier, and the amount of reported crashes and crimes would drop dramatically, if you know what I mean. Currently, the mainstream media trolls my Twitter account as a free early alert system, and then starts calling agencies involved or the regional Pinellas 911 center for further information. I have nobody to troll off of. I'm just an outsider that doesn't exist in the eyes of the media, or to many of the agencies, and will always be that way. In response to that, I say, I don't care. I have and continue to have no biases, no allegiances, and no slant. But all of that results in a real uphill struggle. Earlier in 2016, I raised enough funds from donations and by selling hats and t-shirts to continue funding through the end of 2016. The vast majority of this money went directly to the same paid news disseminator that the mainstream media subscribes to. I have spoken with a few people that have made offers to assist IONTB with website hosting, along with a website with an Android or iOS app with notification systems. The website bandwidth of IONTB no longer supports the amount of people following IONTB. This technological leap would allow for the partial migration away from Facebook. Facebook continues to make changes almost daily that make this endeavor very difficult to administer, given those continual changes. Given the amount of people interacting that post things become even more complex. A dedicated website would also allow for unobtrusive advertising that would enable a financial income to help with the expenses of IONTB. At this time, despite conversations with others about hosting and a website, it hasn't really produced anything tangible as of yet. Of course, any offers from any company that wishes to sponsor or advertise on IONTB would always be entertained. Feel free to contact me at any time. I've poured much of my own money and vast amounts of time and energy into this endeavor, as you know. For the most part, I do it because I enjoy it. I always remember watching a news report and felt like I was presented with just enough of the story to just thoroughly confuse me. Or ask myself, did anyone ask the obvious question that so many others are pondering? I think many of you understand this. Along the way, I've met some great friends and acquaintances and built relationships in which I truly value. But you know, there are always things in life that take the wind out of your sails at times. And that brings me to the last issue. It makes me lose sleep at night. I'm well aware I can't fix the society's issues. We live in a warped world, a warped reality, where nobody is no longer responsible for anything. And the mentality is always to blame somebody else. I no longer have time to deal with those individuals, and in my opinion, either have a truly warped sense of reality, or their comments being made on IONTB are for the sole purpose of instigating and agitating others that contribute to the posts. Let me start by saying that I'm far from perfect. and over the many years there are things I have posted that I now regret. However, I've been doing this a long time, long enough that I think I'm doing a pretty darn good job. So here's how it works. And remember, you have no First Amendment rights on IONTB. Being that, again, I'm not perfect. And feel free to message me via Facebook with any concerns. As a bit of advice, it probably shouldn't start with telling me where to go, command me on what to do, or even threaten me. If you don't like certain things, feel free to speak facts. Don't state obvious lies about me or IONTB or disparage the reputation of IONTB. These acts have already been met with legal action and will continue to do so. It won't be tolerated. Direct threats, including those of death to IONTB followers in their personal message boxes, have not and will not continue to be tolerated, and law enforcement will become involved. Very important. If you comment on any posting, do your best to make it informative and pertinent to the posting. Stop looking to pick fights with everything somebody might say. Many times people are looking to start a fight and not looking at the real intent of what the author wrote. If you want to be intolerant of any group, feel free to click that share button, post it on your own timeline, and continue that conversation with your like-minded friends, not on my timeline. Those Facebook subscribers are going to be banned immediately, and I have no more time to spend being a babysitter for others that clearly need one. Again, feel free to message me if any posts need to be moderated or dealt with. And as I obviously can't read each and every comment on Facebook. One other thing, I only put out information obtained from official sources. I don't make up facts. I don't distort the story. I don't make up the facts of how quick a motorcycle was going, or how somebody may or may not have had a helmet or a seatbelt on, or who was ticketed in a crash, or the details of an arrest. I fully understand that, and you need to fully understand that this information is preliminary information that many times is incorrect and or needs to work through the legal system. I've many times updated or even deleted stories as further information warranted its removal, and will continue to do so in a responsible manner. Don't shoot the messenger. It will be negligent to post libelous information, as I'm not protected by large corporate law firms. Let me just simplify this. If you don't like what you see, tune in somewhere else at 6 and 11. IONTB works because of many people sharing information that's both educational and informative. I see IONTB as what I call consumer-driven news. I get messages all the time of things going on which allow me to look further into many of these incidents. Let me quickly summarize. If you want to be a pain in my butt, buzz off. I no longer have the time, energy, or interest to deal with you. I'm not talking about differing points of view, and I always welcome constructive criticism. Just remember, the facts are facts whether or not I like them or you like them. I always find it amazing that the same people that love to get this kind of information hate it when all of a sudden the information is about someone they know or it affects them personally. Sorry if it contains information about your loved one or what you call, quote, personal. Kind of find it irrational. These are the same people and family members that, after criticizing me, are first to share the same post on their own timeline. At this time, you may notice reduced postings on IONTB due to many of these issues. I'll be spending time working on these to determine if IONTB can move forward given the current financial and technological obstacles. IONTB will post when possible, and always feel free to message me, and I'll respond when available. Again, I thank you for your continued support, but as you can imagine, this is quite a bit of work, and I've been spending more and more time supporting my local community emergency response team and doing more photography work, including small jobs now as an FAA licensed drone operator. Of course, spending time with my family and friends, and a renewed effort looking to change where and what I do for my real full-time job. But in the meantime, I wish everyone a great, happy, and healthy 2017. Thank you.